In today's lecture video, we'll be looking at the chemistry of carbohydrates as the MCQs for this topic. Question 1 says the general formula for monosaccharides. We learned them previously. It's that you say CnH2O bracket N, which is also CnH2nOn. So the correct option here will be option A. Question 2 says two sugars which differ from one another only in configuration around a single carbon atoms are termed epimers. So there are two sugars. Examples of epimers, we say D-galactose and D-glucose, or D-mannose and D-glucose. They are examples of epimers. Question 3 says compounds having the same structural formula but they differ in spatial configuration are known as stereoisomers. So is either it's the L form, let's say L-glucose is a stereoisomer of D-glucose. Question 4 says the carbohydrate of the blood group substance is fucose. Fucose is present in group A, group B, and group O. A sugar alcohol is mannitol, and we said mannitol is useful in terms of increased intracranial pressure. You give IV mannitol to patients that are having increased intracranial pressure. Question 6 says invert sugars. Invert sugar is sucrose. Sucrose is an invert sugar, so take note of that. With two carbon atoms of glucose, sorry, which two carbon atoms of glucose are involved in osazone formation? Osazone formation happens when reducing sugars are placed within a solution, or we give excess of phenylhydrazine solution into reducing sugar. It will now form crystals. So what enhances the formation of crystal? It's the reaction between the carbon 1 and the carbon 2 of that reducing sugar actually. So option A will be the correct answer then. All reducing sugars, or all are reducing sugars except sucrose. Sucrose is not a reducing sugar. Glucose, lactose, and fructose are except sucrose. Question 9 says epimer combination is or are D-glucose to fructose. No, those ones are not epimers, they are functional isomers. D-mannose to tallose, no. D-glucose to D-mannose, we said it already. Yes, they are epimers. D-glucose to D-glucose, no. To D-glucose, no. So D-galactose to D-glucose, yes. So this answer for question 9, C and E are the correct option. So this is correct and this is also correct. Question 10 says cellulose, it's not starch polysaccharide, it's non-starch polysaccharide. Option B is the correct answer for this. Question 11, mucopolysaccharides that doesn't contain uronic acid. So let's recap. We said mucopolysaccharides are also called glycosaminoglycans, and glycosaminoglycans, we have two groups. The group 1, if you remember from our lecture, we had H, and for group 2 we have CDK. this stands for hyaluronic acid, this stands for heparin, and this is heparin sulfate. So don't forget that. This is chondroitin sulfate, this is dermatan sulfate, and this is keratin sulfate. So we said they have amino sugars and they have acidic sugars. And don't forget, we said heparin, the acid sugar here is hydroronic acid. For this ones are glucuronic acid and glucuronic acid. And for this one, there's no galactose found at all in them. So we have N-acetylglucosamine here. Here we have N-sulfated glucosamine. Here we have N-acetylglucosamine here. So that is for the group 1. That's this plus this, I meant to say. So that's what forms them. So for the chondroitin sulfate, we have galactose in group 2. And keratin is the only one that does not have an acidic sugar. So what forms it, the acidic part, will be the galactose. So here we now have N-acetylglucosamine just for keratin. For this one, so to be N-acetylgalactosamine, N-acetylgalactosamine plus glucuronic acid for chondroitin sulfate, and plus hydroronic acid for keratin sulfate. So let's have this at the back of our mind. It's easy to remember. So the question says mucopolysaccharide that doesn't contain uronic acid is keratin sulfate. A disaccharide formed by 1,1 glycosidic linkage between the monosaccharide units is trehalose. So trehalose has 1,1 glycosidic linkage. The polysaccharide used in assessing the glomerular filtration rate GFR is actually inulin. The sugar found in DNA is deoxyribose. The homopolysaccharide used as plasma expander would be dextrans. Dextrans are used as plasma expander. So let's keep this picture in mind again. We'll use them here now. The polysaccharide found in exoskeleton of invertebrates will be chitin. Keratin sulfate is found in abundance within the cornea. Then 18 says all are sulfated GAGs except hyaluronic acid is the only GAG that is not sulfated and is the only GAG made within the plasma membrane. The rest are made within the Golgi apparatus and they join with core proteins within the ER and they now form proteoglycans. So refer back to your lectures for details. 19 says which of the following is a dietary fiber? We classify dietary fibers into two classes. We have the water soluble, and these water soluble are well fermented, and we have the water insoluble and they are less fermented. The water soluble we said is PGM, and water insoluble we say is CHL. PGMs are pectin, G is gum, and M is mucilage. And the CHL, this is what? Cellulose. This is hemicellulose, and this is lignin. So this is for dietary fibers, DFs. So which of the following is a dietary fiber? Cellulose obviously is a dietary fiber. Repeating units of hyaluronic acid would be what? N-acetylglucosamine, as we said, and D-glucuronic acid. Option A would be the correct answer. So this will be it for the chemistry of carbohydrates MCQs. Thank you guys.